every Etsy store gets started up, and then people turn it on and then they wait for someone to buy something from you. That is the wrong thing to do. Call your mom, call your cousin, call your wife or husband, and have them buy an item from your store and then review it so that you get one sale and one review that is good. And that kicks your store off so Etsy knows, okay, people will buy this, people are interested in this, we will start sending more traffic your direction. If you just sit and wait, you are fully dependent on luck. So it's really important to take that action so that you're not dependent on luck. But since we know a lot of people aren't doing that, we're going to do it ourselves. So again, down in the description, there's a Google form. Sign up, put in your Etsy store link, and we will purchase an item from you. And then we will review that item. The rule for this is that you have to have fewer than 10 sales. You do not have to be connected to the Etsy plugin, our Etsy plugin, to be qualified for this. We're going to buy it from everybody because this is just generally grow Etsy and 3D printed products. However, if you are plugged into our plugin, you might buy something more expensive. But no, there's no requirement on that right now. But yeah, the point of this is to show people how to kickstart their Etsy store. So we're going to go and just put our money where our mouth is and go buy your items from you. So again, down in the description, share your Etsy store link, and we will purchase an item from you and give you a review afterwards. Hopefully it's a good item. That's pretty great. If you're plugged in the Etsy plugin, even better. You'll get a review faster because it'll ship to us same day. But yeah, we're going to do that to help all you guys get your stores kind of kicked off. And yeah, we set aside a limited budget. We don't know how many we're going to do or what it's going to be because all your prices are different and that kind of thing. But we're going to buy a bunch of stuff and give it a review. We will also present that stuff either here on podcast or in a separate video on the POD channel where we will review those items on camera. And we'll talk about the design of them and that kind of stuff. So if you want a review for your Etsy store, your first sale, and an engineering review of your product, put your Etsy store down below. That's what we're going to do. We just think it's incumbent upon us to help everybody else out get rolling, to get this thing rolling. Because there's just, this is what comes up, is that whenever people start businesses, people always have the mistaken belief that they're the first one to do this thing. And that includes both the product idea and the operation of the business. People think they're way more unique than they actually are. So much of business is finding the answer that is already out there. In this case, getting your first sale. Oh, how do I find a customer for my first sale? Well, go call your mom, hand her $20 and let her buy stuff from you. Is that shady? No, your mom is buying it. Oh, and it's important to get this going. And this applies to everyone. It's called, there's some phrase for it, spiking the peg, or I don't know what it is, but like homeless people or entertainers on the street will throw some cash into the hat so that people aren't the first one to throw cash in the hat. So if you create a store, buy a couple of your own items or get somebody you know to buy some of your items and get reviews on there so that there are some sort of purchase. The next customer can then make a decision that is not biased by, oh, this store is new, about whether the product is good for them or not. This applies to everything. Everything that you have done or are going to do has been done before. Employee insurance, shipping, running an Etsy store, taking product photos. Everybody has done that already. Those are very well understood things. If you want a business to be successful and to grow continuously for a long period of time, it is very important to learn the lessons from other people as fast as you possibly can and suck that information down. This is why a lot of people point to like mentors and that kind of stuff. I've never really seen mentors do useful information at a detailed sort of level unless they're right in your industry. A lot of mentors are very spectator-ish, where they'll be like, oh, how's it going? That seems like a good idea, that kind of stuff. Like, it's very useless. A mentor directly in your industry who's like, oh, you run Facebook ads? Did you know that Facebook just died last week or whatever it was? That kind of stuff. Those folks are worth their weight in gold, and you need to buy them a really nice dinner if you're asking them for help. So use that. Use that resource if it is available and offered to you. Do not abuse it, but leverage it. Because so many businesses languish for long periods of time because they figure it out themselves. And that is the wrong thing to do. We have ChatGPT, we have Google, we have YouTube. Define the question you're trying to answer. Create 5 different versions of that question. Search them all up on every platform and see if you can't find somebody who answers it for you. And then, by the way, when you get those answers, listen to them. Many people like to get in their own head of like, oh yeah, that guy says that's how that works, but it won't work for my situation. That's like saying, oh, the calculus, my professor only taught me this example, but I can't use it in this math problem. No. Learn how to use it, observe, understand it, and it will be more useful to you. So maintain open-mindedness, because just because they may present it in a particular example does not mean that it's not applicable to your particular example. It almost always is, and many people miss out on information because of this. I have, in like management and that kind of stuff. There's very simple and universal rules of management. Hire good people, be passionate about what you do, yada, yada, yada. Many things that are trite are very true. And people get around them of like, oh, I don't need to hire good people. I'm going to make 2 half competent people, put them together. I'm going to get 1 competent person for half price or something like that. Or I'm going to have somebody who's remote go and do it, who's working from Zimbabwe or whatever it happens to be. A lot of these cheat codes, they're like, oh, that doesn't apply to me. No, it still does. Many of those maths or creative problem solvings generally ignore the point and break down at some point in the future. It's kind of like quick, easy money. Generally, it won't last for very long. So learn the lessons as fast as you can, internalize them, believe them. This is another thing. People very often approach advice from public figures with suspicion. What I found is that people who are in a position where you even care what their advice is, don't care about whether you take the advice or not. Therefore, they have no reason to lie. So when Jeff Bezos says, this seems like something that worked pretty well for Amazon, he's not trying to mislead you to stop Amazon, to keep you from becoming a competitor from Amazon. He literally does not care. He is literally just saying the facts as they are because it's way easier to tell the truth than to try to lie or create some manipulated conspiracy. And people get in their head of like, oh, he's just telling us that because he's got tax deductions or he doesn't want to be a big billionaire. No, he honestly does not care. He's a big billionaire. He doesn't give a crap what you think. So listen to him. He can be the most truthful. But anyhow, but yeah, if you're starting up a business, take the shortcuts that people tell you. Listen to them, observe them. Presume that you're wrong, especially if it's your first time through, because you probably are. If most people would be more successful if they literally just copied someone else at first. Copy someone for as long as you can, and then when you run up against places where you can't find someone to copy, then you invent the solution. And that sounds bad, but it's not. It's how you learn more quickly. People have a sense of arrogance when they go at certain problems where they're like, I'm going to solve it my way or whatever it was. I'm like, why would you do that? It's all been solved already. Run with those solutions. They're available, they're fine, they're the state of the art. If you want to be a YouTuber, go watch Mr. Beast. Or even Logan Paul, or insert name here, whoever it is. Copy their style, literally. Take one of their thumbnails, remove their face, put your face into it, and rejigger some other stuff, and use that. And that's fine. Everybody's like, oh, well, you're ripping people off then. No. You're standing on the shoulders of giants is what you're doing. No one would ever talk to a mathematician and say, you used Euler's method there. Cheater. No, I used it because it was a tool to get to this place, and then I carried it further. Once you get done copying the thumbnail, go ahead and improve upon it further and target it towards your group. That's when you start learning. Start where everybody else left off and then start building on top of that. This is what people always miss out on because they think they got to start at zero and build up from there. No, take the shortcuts. Most businesses don't. And again, this was kind of the impetus for us saying we're going to go buy your products from you guys. You guys aren't buying them from your shelf already. So we set aside funding. We're going to buy products from y'all to help you jumpstart your stores. Learn from it. We have operated very large Etsy stores in the past. So we're giving as much information as we can to help you guys build good Etsy stores too. Because if more items are sold, Etsy, Shopify, more 3D printed items are sold, then people get back past the entire industry grows. Because if more stuff is sold, well, more services can be built, more products can be created, more people can make a living with it. That's all great, but there has to be some first people across the wire. So as some of the first ones across the wire, we're gonna go ahead and help other people across as much as we can. So we're gonna buy your Etsy products. So once again, link down in the description. Share just your Etsy store link, and then we will go to your store and buy something, so long as we still have budget available.